What's up, guys? Today we're going to learn a classic mandolin tune called the New Camptown Races. It is a must-play for the advancing mandolin player, and most people learn Frank Wakefield's version, which is an amazing version. I highly suggest you go check that out. What I've done today to throw a little curveball on it is there's an amazing recording from a harmonica player named David Naiditch, who I hope I'm saying his last name right, but basically he releases these albums that are packed with incredible musicians: Stuart Duncan, Sierra Hull, Jake Workman, just for instance. And one of the songs on one of the albums is New Camptown Races. So what I decided to do was transcribe Sierra's break on New Camptown Races, and it's got a lot of challenging moments. It's definitely an advanced tune, but it is extremely rewarding, and you'll get a lot of licks that you can take to other pieces you're going to learn. So I'm going to break it down for you, and stick around, check it out. All right, so part one. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so as far as things to know about this part, it's pretty straightforward. The hammer-ons and pull-offs can be a little tricky as far as timing. I like to think of it as waiting till the very last second before you actually pull off on the note. It gives it like a bluesy swing feel. The other big thing about this part, which is true in all variations of Camptown Races for the most part, is we do this rake into this G note where we go. You can play it without the rake, but it sounds really empty and it's lacking that feel that the original tune has. So most people put a rake, and all we're doing there is we're muting our strings with our palm, the back of our palm on our bridge, and then just raking down all of them until we get to that G note. Just like that. So that's it for part one. All right, part two, here we go. 2, 3. Okay, so the main thing about part two, well, there's a couple things. Is one, we have those double stops that go up the neck. But those really aren't the tricky part. There are two tricky parts. The first part is our initial walk up. That's the tough part, particularly the timing on the. And this last lick into a double stop can be a little challenging. I advise going very slowly into it until you get the timing. Basically build it like a house, one brick at a time. The other thing that is really funky about this part is this lick she does after that final double stop, where she goes back into the lower part, which is kind of a classic Sierra Hull thing. She likes going high to low, high to low, high to low over and over again, which makes it sound really melodic and interesting. So what makes it weird is that we're going to hold this note like a bluesy note, and we're basically going to hold it until the very last second, just like I said on the previous one. Let's try that again. And the final thing that's a little tricky on this second part is a string skipping lick into this final variation where she goes. So this takes a lot of technique with your right hand more than your left hand. Your left hand is probably ready for all these notes, but this right hand can be confused, one, by going back up and then back down. And other than that, that's pretty much it as far as the truly difficult parts of that second run she does on the song. Okay, so part 3. This is easily the most challenging part of the song, but the good news is once you get this part down, you are golden, okay? And I advise spending a lot of time going very slowly through these opening licks. So, let's check it out. 2, 3. Okay, so the obvious challenging part on part 3 is this opening arpeggiated lick she does. There's no easy way to do this. There's not a lot of tips that I can give you other than it's all about your right hand, okay? Your left hand will probably be able to accomplish these things. What holds a lot of players back from being able to play licks like this is a lack of focus on building up their right hand technique. So focus on your right hand, go very slowly with the metronome, and you'll be able to build up these notes pretty well. It's a very, very cool lick. It sounds very classical. It sounds like something you'd hear in a Bach piece, but she's throwing it into New Camptown Races, which is so creative. Okay, so here's that final part, which is actually a repetition of the opening lick she does, but it's she has a slightly different variation from the outro. She does something a little different there, but other than that, it's the same. If you got into this part, you're home free. Let's check it out. Okay, so the only difference here is simply that we have this double stop instead of our traditional. Okay, but it's not that bad, and you've actually done it earlier in the song. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Click the like button and subscribe to me for more videos, and check out that Patreon for tabs and notation of the song. If you have any questions on there, you can contact me on Patreon. Thanks for watching.